Okay, well, good afternoon all. It's my return commute home, and it's been raining off and on most of the day, so I don't know how dry this ride's going to be. I won't be able to keep the camera running in the rain because this Hero 7 now has the side door off of it. So that means it's no longer weather resistant, and it will have to go in the tail bag or tank bag or somewhere to not get wet. I, on the other hand, do have a small rain suit with me, so it doesn't matter if I get wet. Haven't had a chance to review the morning footage to see if the microphone is any better or not. Hopefully it is. We shall see. And this is going to be a thick commute today as far as traffic. I'm well into the rush hour now. I need to set the clock on this guy. It's way off. I don't know. It says it's AM right now, 4 a.m. or something. That ain't right. We are 5:12 in the afternoon, so it is the thick of rush hour in Houston. Can he squirt through in the Ryker? Yes, he can. Going to be dicey. Sorry everybody, but it's going to be done as long as nobody has to slow down for me. And the guy in front of me is smoking weed. It's funny the things that you can smell being out on a bike and the road and in the environment instead of in a steel cage. Yep. He is lighting up the herb in that there truck. That roll-on is just so bloody much fun. Well, that was 85. I guess I better be careful. This thing is going to get me in trouble. It's just a matter of time. It's a lot like the Monster that I have. Plenty of roll-on torque. Yeah, here, I don't know if you guys can see the side to side. I'm back on that groove pavement. It's a very rapid left, right, left, right. Hey. It does seem to return to center over that stuff, so you just ride it out and don't give it any input. Just a little seasick inducing. I don't feel that in the car. I mean, you do feel a little bit of a squirm in the car, and on my scooters, like the PCX 150, it's got really narrow tires. I actually do bring that up here onto the main slab occasionally because it'll go 65, almost 70. So as long as traffic isn't real fast and heavy, I'll bring it up here. But it does the same thing. It'll, kind of writhe around underneath you because of these longitudinal rain grooves. But not that left, right that this one does. That's different. I need to complete my purchase on my shopping cart. Twisted throttle, Revzilla, and a couple of others are my normal haunts for add-on parts. I believe Twisted Throttle and Revzilla kind of share inventory, because I've noticed when I order from one, sometimes I'll get a box from the other. I don't know that they're the same company, maybe in the back end, but anyway, they are out of the AdMore light bar that I had talked about in yesterday's vlog. The one I plan to get is the smoke lens instead of the clear one. Just, I think it'll look better on the back of this bike. Where I'm going to mount it, I don't know quite yet. If I want to try to figure out a way to put it underneath the tail of the max mount, or if I'm going to put it on the license plate area. The bracket that they ship with is adjustable, and you can, you know, tailor it to whatever you want to do, but it's very easy to go ahead and mount it right on your license plate area above your tag. But I don't think it would really fit that well back on this one, so I'll have to see. Plus, my idea is to get the brake light up higher. These are very low anyway. And with the way people tailgate here in Houston, they probably can't even see the tail lights on this thing when they get real close. So the other thing I want to do, I don't know if I mentioned it already, is on the back side of each one of the fenders, I'm going to put rear-facing LED pods, real bright flashers of some kind. So whenever I'm on the turn signal, they're going to flash, and that's an extra indication to traffic, because the wheels, if you're looking at this thing from behind, they really stick out. So perfect signage opportunity. Yeah, this is the HOV lane. Yeah, good luck. If I get on the highway anytime past about 3:45 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, this is it. And all us Houstonians or Houstonites, whatever you want to call us, this is what's known as the Katy Crawl. Headed out toward Katy, and it's literally a crawl the whole time. This is what we get right here. A few spots you might get up to 25, 30 miles an hour if you're lucky, but it's just sucking fumes. Now on a bike, although lane splitting isn't legal here, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm no choir boy. Yeah, I'll just zip right down the side and find a hole in traffic, find somebody sleeping. But the Ryker is a little bigger animal, and it's not going to be as easy to do that, at least not without seriously making somebody upset. Well, I guess I'm going to try it. We'll see who's sleeping. This guy's sleeping. All right. I haven't done a proper bedding in of these brakes yet, just because I haven't really driven it that much. Just surface street, stop and go. There was a discussion in one of the forums. One of the guys mentioned that his brakes just, you know, he took a whole lot of pedal effort to stop. And usually that's a function of the pads not being bedded to the rotors yet. On all of my cars and race bikes and everything through the years, I have a kind of a quick bedding process that I've used, where you start at low speeds and do progressively harder and harder stops from that speed, and then you increase your speeds and you keep doing it. And over the span of about 15 to 20 miles, you can fully bed your brakes and rotors and avoid the whole 200 and some odd 300 mile slow bedding process. The trick is not to overheat them and glaze your rotors or pads, and you certainly don't want to blue your rotors, which means they've gotten too hot. But this one stops okay. Pedal effort's still a little high. If they don't bed in and get a little bit better, I might look at getting some EBC double H centered pads for this. I'm sure they'll make them. The copper centered material gives really good stopping performance. They're a little noisy. The centered metal is a little louder than most of the semi-organic pads, but it works real well. And I'm getting sprinkled on. I don't know how the lens looks. I'm going to give it a wipe here. If it just sprinkles like this, I won't be too upset. it starts pouring, I will definitely have to pull to the side and put on the rain suit, which is another thing. I don't know why the US models don't have emergency flashers. Come on, it's just a button. That's not expensive. All right, well, I'm gonna have to jump over here. Thank you. Yeah, stopping on the side of the road, it's always nice to have emergency flashers. Or hazard flashers, if that's your preferred term. Ooh, it's dark over there. I hope that's going that way, not this way. Because I'm gonna get wet. Said it before, I'll say it again. I don't mind riding in the rain, but I don't like sitting still in it. Nothing like swamp balls. Ugh. My camera position is. I think it's okay. Might be a little low. Mounting this, I'll do a review on this mount after I get a little more familiar with it. It fits well. I showed it in the clips earlier this morning. I just didn't say what it was, and I honestly can't remember the name of it right now, but I'm trying to figure out if it's better than just having the standard GoPro curve mount stuck straight on the helmet. The only advantage it has that I can tell so far is it spaces out the mount a little bit away from the helmet, so you can cant the lens or the camera further back. The other little drawback with this solution, or this mounting contraption that I've got going on here, is the skeleton frame for the 7. The hinge along the back bottom edge of it kind of prevents your maximum throw for going backwards because the little hinge area starts rubbing into the mount and you can't go further back. So I might have to modify a couple of my mounts to give me more throw coming backward. Otherwise, there's always the boom arm type mounts. I don't care for those. It's just more stuff sticking off of the helmet, and yeah, the increased fulcrum there. It's just a great way to damage something over time or pull your mount away from the helmet. But of course, what do I know? I'm a new moto vlogger. I don't have a track record with any of this gear yet to really make my opinions, other than initial fit and usability. I do have a what's supposed to be a hydrophobic lens cover on this GoPro, so water droplets should bead up and roll off instead of sticking to it. I don't know if that's actually working. We're going to find out. You know, I could get some really good gas mileage on this thing if I just had a lasso. Just latch onto his bumper, tie it off here, and just let him pull me along. It's pretty sad when your average speed is somewhere between 15 and 20 miles an hour on the highway. You can quite literally ride a mountain bike or a road bike faster than that. My wife and I are also fairly avid bicyclists. We've got road bikes, and I don't do much of the trail riding and mountain bike riding anymore, just because I don't want to break myself. But we do quite a bit of road riding. Some of that was put on hold when our newest family member became a reality. I've got a 19-month-old now, I guess she is. So that's put a damper on a lot of that activity for a little while, but we are planning to get back to it in short order, hopefully sometime in the next few months. have the alignment done on this thing. I think I'm going to have the handlebars verified as well. It seems like they're canted just a tiny bit left. I don't know if that's a function of the alignment or if it's actually the bars on the stem. I did watch Sean Smoke, in one of his videos. He showed how you pull the tree on this thing, pull the bars off of the lower stem, and you can realign it. As far as quality control, a little worrisome or annoying again that they're not set properly. Maybe they're getting banged out of alignment or something in shipping, I don't know. But this one, even just visual verification, it seems like the left side is a little further forward, and I always feel like I'm sitting a little crooked. My left arm is more outstretched. It's not so much to be just blatantly obvious, but it's there. My Hillbilly cruise control doesn't work at such slow speeds because there's not enough little throttle throw for the CVT to get up into a higher range. Hello. Most boring vlog commute ever. Staring at the ass of bus number 5032. Again, lane splitting isn't legal here, but that's not to say I don't do it sometimes. And in this case, I think I would break the rules. I have been known to do so before. Because 9 times out of 10, when traffic is this thick, there's no real accident, there's no problem on the road, it's just overly congested, and everybody, somebody somewhere along the line at the front decided to hit their brakes and create the ripple in traffic that stays there until traffic dies down. And you'll go through several miles of this, and there was never any real reason for the slowdown. It's just everybody was going slow. So all you lucky people in California and where else is it? Florida? I can't remember. There's another state in the U.S. that allows lane splitting or lane sharing. You can just go right on by this stuff, and generally what happens is you get past whatever that ripple in traffic is, and it's just clear sailing. Us unfortunate folk here in Texas gotta wait behind the big-ass buses. Oh, he wants out of this lane. Maybe there is a problem. They're gonna make a liar out of me today? Is there really an issue? Nope. Well, are we getting? We're not getting? What are we doing? I might be able to squirt if this guy... Yep. Thank you, thank you. He didn't speed up the block. That was nice. Oh, hello. I really do want to put that AdMore bar on here. I'm sure there are plenty of other solutions for the intelligent brake lights. I've seen the Signal Dynamics has one, and there are several other manufacturers out there that are making them now that have the decelerometer built in, so when you slow down drastically, they flash independent of the brake light. I prefer the AdMore just because I've used them. I know how they are. I like the fit and finish, and most of all the shape. They're just kind of generic and about 8 inches wide, and they fit just about anywhere you want them to fit. Well, today the main lanes might be better than this. This stop and go stuff like this low speed, the Ryker's actually doing very well at it. I'm reasonably impressed. It doesn't seem to be cogging or doing any bad behavior where the engagement of the CVT and the clutches are concerned. I haven't been riding my Silver Wing much over the last many months. I don't even know how long it's been, probably almost a year now. I was in this kind of nonsense on a different highway, West Park Tollway here in Houston, and it was this nonstop for 20 plus miles, and the clutch in my Silver Wing got glazed up badly from that. I'm always cognizant not to sit there and ride the engagement point on the clutch engagement, but there was so much of this stop and go that the thing got glazed up so bad that now low RPM it doesn't even want to take off. It just slips and slides until you really crank the throttle, and then the clutch does its lockup routine. It's a Dr. Pulley hit clutch, so it does its lockup routine, and then it bogs down the motor a little bit, and you hear a little bit of belt chirp when it's squeaking the belt, and it rockets off. So there's no way to really modulate the throttle at a low level anymore. So I got to tear it apart, get in there with some sandpaper, and scuff up the bell and the. I am going to squeeze. I know you're not going to like me. Sorry. You got to get in there and scuff up the surfaces. Basically, do like turning brake rotors or drum brakes, and just clean it up in there. Get rid of the glazing so it's got some grip. I just haven't gotten to it because it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to tear that thing apart. I have to use a heat gun to expand the metal and everything. There's a tension compression fit. Pain in the butt. Did I change buses? I think I did. Traded one bus for another. Now I got to look at 5055. HOV only. Yep. Might be HOV, but it's certainly not express. And it's a-raining over there. Buddy, come on over. I know you want it. Take it. Do it. There's an issue. Everybody chime in below. One of these days I'll figure out how to do the polls and voting in the YouTube videos. What does everybody think about the loud pipes debate? I'm a moto veteran. I've been doing this for a long time, and I get both sides of it. I understand it. Loud pipes save lives. That's the whole argument. The louder it is, the more cars can hear you, blah, blah. But I don't know. Personally, I think there's a limit to that. At some point, it just becomes a nuisance, not to mention dangerous to your own hearing. That one I think is up in the nuisance level. I would not want to listen to that droning on the highway forever, that's for sure. Well, I'll give the Ryker another giant kudo. The low speed trolling along like this, so much better than being on a bike or a scooter or whatever, where you constantly feathering the clutch or just barely on your balance point. There's no balance needed here. You just get our numb arms and hands from not being able to move around. So as far as the commute duty, I'll definitely give it the thumbs up there. One of my other favorite commute tools, I call it my mile muncher, is the, I've mentioned it before, is the if you can hear me over that bike, is the Honda CB500X. I've got a 2014 that I bought new in the middle of 2015, and it's just a phenomenal do-it-all commuter bike, light tourer, you name it. That bike can do it all. I love that thing. Gets mid-60s on the fuel economy. You can pull it up on my Fuely stats. Just go to fuely.com/drivers/quasi-motard, and you see the different bikes there. It's got a good-sized tank on it, about this size. It's 4.5 gallons. It's a little smaller than this one, but it gets 65 plus miles to the gallon all the time. So it's got pretty much right at a 300-mile range. So for road trips, it's just great. Big plush seat, very neutral handling, upright seating position. It's just an absolute treat for long distance rides or commuting and stuff like this. Thank you, Lord, for holding off the rain. Please let it stay that way. Amen. Hey, backfire. I have a nerve issue in my neck and shoulder that forced me to alternate hands frequently. I think I mentioned it when I was talking about the cruise control. I think it's hereditary. My dad suffers from the same condition. We get this numbness and tingling all the way down our arms. I've never had it properly diagnosed, but the research I've done on it and the specialists that I've talked to, they say that it's a nerve cluster in the base of the neck before it branches out to the shoulders, and it's a similar relation to carpal tunnel syndrome, but it's higher up the arm. So my entire arm, everything from about the elbow down, will go to sleep, start tingling and burning real bad, and I can't operate the controls if I don't shake my hands out, shake my arms out, and get some blood flow and some movement in there. So for me, cruise controls are absolutely necessary if I want to keep moving. Otherwise, I'm coasting down and pissing everybody off. So every now and then, I just have to move around. The same is true when I'm in a car. It's not just motorcycles. I have to alternate hands. I can't keep them straight out in front of me, 10 and 2 for any length of time, because my arms just go to sleep. Everybody's stacked up in this lane. Let's see how the traffic demographics work out here, the sorting. The reason everybody stacks this right lane so much is it's the one that exits to the main lanes, because from this point forward it's HOV only. They did the highway expansion a few days or a week or two ago, and they extended to where this is 2 straight lanes that go all the way through. This one is still the exit only, but there are 2 lanes that go through. So commuters have not figured out yet, or HOV commuters have not figured out yet, that they can space out and get around all this. I guess I should see the tack. I'm always curious to see the how the CVT is working. It's running fairly high RPMs right here, 3,000 RPM at relatively low speed because of the pulley sheaves. The ratio hasn't expanded. Okay, I'm going to be a tool. Hey, break that back end loose. Problem with that little stretch of traffic right there is everybody stacks up in this section. They're waiting until the last second to get over in this turn lane, and they'll block this 1/8 mile stretch here for 5 minutes just sitting still. It's getting dark. Hello. Nothing like tailgating. So I haven't had a long straight stretch yet to kind of evaluate the effectiveness of the windscreen, but it seems like all the wind blast is off my chest for the most part. That's good. The helmet feels like it's kind of up in clear air a bit more. I'm still getting spillover on the top because I don't have it all the way up, but this factory windscreen isn't bad. I really like the what is it? MadStad Engineering. I have that on my 500X, and man, it's great. It creates this huge pocket of calm air right behind the screen, and you don't get any buffeting, hardly any noise. I asked them if they were going to be making a screen for the Ryker, and they said that yes, they planned on it, but they didn't have a bike to test with yet, or the OEM screen to template off of. If they didn't, if they weren't out there in Florida, really far away from me, I would just offer them my bike and let them have it for a little while to beta test, but it's a heck of a long way to ride to just let them play with my bike. And this camera is not waterproof, so I hope I'm not shorting it out. We're going to find out when I get back to download the footage. I did put a little bit of dielectric bulb grease, that sort of thing, on the USB contacts and also on the microphone jack, so that should slow down the ingress of water, but it's certainly not going to prevent it. And it's starting to get a little thicker. Might have to stop and put this thing away. Although I do have the GoPro warranty. You break it, we give you another one, that kind of warranty. All right. No good place to stop right here. I think as I get off the highway, I am going to put this away. Not push my luck. Because if I lose it or break it, I don't have one to do any more vlogs for a few days until I get a new one. I did order more cameras. I don't know if I mentioned that in any of the other vlogs. GoPro is having a trade-up deal right now where you can trade in any camera, whether it's an action camera or any digital camera, for $100 off of the Hero 7 Black or the Fusion 360. So I did both. I had some old plain Jane digital cameras, and did the straight up deal.